honour this commitment after the World Cup draw had been made. Don Revie, however, selected an experimental side. Joe, take us through the England team first of all.
Well, Jimmy Rimmer in goal, I think it was his one and only cap. In fact, he only played half a game, and then Joe Corrigan came on for his debut. And Dave Clement was around at the time, getting to be quite regular. Phil Neal a bit out of position, a left back. Mike Doyle, of course, who had come into the England scene again with myself. Tony Towers didn't have so many games, but certainly, you know, that was probably his first, I would think. A young Ray Wilkins, it might have been his debut, and then yours truly, Mick Channon up front.
Yeah, it was his debut.
So it was an experimental side, and I remember that Kevin Keegan didn't play in it, and it wasn't so much that he was dropped. I don't think Don Revie wanted to show him to the Italians at that stage.
Phil, the Italian side.
How come I get the Italian side? I can't even say half the names. Well, he had the legendary Dino Zoff, who was in goal. And you're just looking some of the great names, but there was a lot. They had a few missing as well. But you're looking there, Benetti, as Joe said before, talking about a hard man. You always remember him because he had blonde hair, fair hair.
Some great names: Capello, Graziani, Causio.
Yeah. But the other one there, number 10, Antonioni. See, he did well there. Antonioni, tremendous player. He was the new wonder boy at that time. And actually scored in one of the games. But tremendous player, absolutely wonderful. But you knew what you were up against when you played them.
So it's May 1976. Commentators in the Yankee Stadium are Kevin Keegan and Brian Moore.
And Gordon Hill on the far side, that dynamic Manchester United winger too, as we kick off. Italy in the blue shirts and white shorts, attacking the goal to our left. England in white with light blue shorts. Here's Causio straight away for them. Phil Thompson getting a touch to that. And it comes to Rocca, but charged down in the first touch now for Gordon Hill. Well, given away to Capello, Causio, offside. Luigi is there, and in fact, the crowd are shouting, but the whistle had long since gone. And so it'll be a free kick for England. A really sweltering day here in New York. Certainly so far as the temperature is concerned now. Very, very pleasant conditions for playing. Here's Phil Thompson. England with a much weakened side against Italy. Don Revie obviously not wanting to show the Italians everything with this vital World Cup match against Italy coming up in Rome in November. But what a tremendous psychological advantage it would be for England if they can get a reasonable result here tonight. As Clement now nods that ball in, it's Benetti who heads it away there towards Facchetti. Shannon couldn't quite get in. And a goal kick then to the Italians. The Italians a little surprised at the England team selection. In fact, their manager Berzo said the only player we really feared was Keegan, but we always respect any side that England puts into the field. Well, we'll see. Wilkins playing it back a little bit short there for Doyle, but Doyle's a fighter and came through it, and there's Towers, and he's given that away to Causio. Now Benetti breaking hard now, but a good interception that time from Phil Neal. A throw to Italy. Causio will take it. Benetti. Causio. Antonioni brought down right on the edge of the area by Mike Doyle. And a free kick.
Well, some fairly lively challenges already, Joe. I think Phil Neal just felt one, didn't he?
Yes, I mean, you can see that they're all great players, but there were one or two hard men around. We mentioned Benetti already, but quite seriously, even then the diving side, I think that the free kick that they've won there is slightly fortuitous, and they've never been afraid to do that, you know, to win things and influence referees.
Nice pitch, isn't it?
Well, that was a problem. I think you'll find that all the goals, the 5 goals, are scored at the grassier end. It was certainly very strange at the other end where you had to run off grass and onto gravel and then back onto grass. And, you know, it was very significant. All the goals were scored at this end.
And is it too obvious a question to ask you how on earth England were persuaded to play in this tournament so close to 2 World Cup qualifiers?
I think it was just too good an opportunity to miss, a chance to play Italy and have a look at them. And I thought that was the way that Don Revie thought, you know. And there we were. We had a commitment to go over there for the bicentennial year. And it was good team spirit, to be honest with you. It was a good trip.
In the first place, and Jimmy Rimmer, but only half booted out. Clement winning it in the air. Here's Towers. Shannon. Nice touch there for Towers. And a little chip in there, but Italians getting it away again. But it can't be easy in that baseball diamond to judge the pace of the ball. Well, there's a bit of space now. Wilkins with a shot, just past the post. That could so easily have been the first goal for England. And a really glaring gap in that Italian defence. Very uncharacteristic of them. Phil Neal playing that ball through, and look at the space there for Wilkins, and look how close he was. This is Bellucci, the number 5. Rocker, Benetti, Rocker. Tremendous energy, this Rocker. He was all over the field last week against America. Calzio losing out there. Here's Gordon Hill, the first real taste of Gordon Hill that we've seen tonight. Shannon now, maybe a shooting position. Good pass here now for Towers. Good build up by England. Hill now looking for the angle. Getting in a shot and a great save by Soft. Good play again by England. Towers crossing it. Hill just looking to get it onto that left foot. And it called for a good save from Dino Zoff.
Clement.
Well, a free kick. I think probably that's the Italians. It's given it to Italy, claiming that Shannon was presumably hurling himself at Roggi. And Capello with it. Now Graziani. Clement. So in the opening quarter of an hour, so far so good for a weakened England side against what is basically the best side that Italy could put out. Tony Towers to Mike Doyle. Oh, and he's given it away now. Here's Calzio for Italy. Played there for Graziani. A chance now for Italy, yes! Graziani the scorer, and England only themselves to blame. Here's how Mike Doyle lost it. Pulici was in on him.
Well, just Phil, as you and Joe were sitting here saying, hey, we played well, didn't we, first half?
Yeah,
The Italians break through.
Yeah, quite surprised, as you're always doing games like this, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that was what happened. The ball from Tony to Mike Doyle had spin on it and everything. We were just saying before we came on there, it's the pitch, the grass was very, very long. Made things difficult. And the ball was played up there and always under heavy pressure straight away.
I mean, what were you wearing, for goodness sake? Grass one
Well,
end
that
and
was
long
it.
grass,
That was-
sand at the other.
That was the problem. We went out there. I think actually we might have even tossed up before actually getting out there on the pitch at the start of the game, because like you'd have to know, and then whoever was defending in that end could wear moulded soles instead of screwing studs, so that helped a little bit. But of course it was an absolute nightmare if you had studs on, especially when you were in that is it the diamond, what they call it? Oh my
It's also
goodness.
2-0, by the
So
way.
we're playing well there, aren't we?
I remember wearing rubber studs in the first half at the baseball end, and proper studs the second half.
Looking
it
forward,
was
presumably, watching this to thinking, well, we'll have a go at it second half. 2 quick goals for the Italians.
Well, I think you'll find at half-time Don Revie had a total sense of humour failure and blitzed us all and took Jimmy Rimmer off, and there was a better spirit about the second half. But I didn't think we'd played as well as we had, but as you say, that it is 2-0. Poor old Jimmy Rimmer took the brunt of it because he was substituted.
I think he could blame those in front of him, don't you?
Thanks very much.
Probably.
You've always been very complimentary of me. I was just glad that I haven't got my perm in this game.
We're not.
Calzio, the touch to Capello. The little chip to the number 10, Antonelli. Capello. Antonelli. Whoa! Curling all the way, and it looked as though it might just curl in there.
Shot taken.
From this golden boy, the number 10, Antonioni. Curling all the time, worrying Rimmer, but then in the end going wide. Benetti up outside him, pushing their midfield players up well into very strong attacking positions as Benetti is here. Cross now, and look at the space here for Calzio. Good control on his body and on his head, And a shot! But Rimmer got behind. Calzio again. A cross that is this time behind the goal. A goal kick to England. Good, lovely control there by the Italian number 7, Calzio. And a shot, really, that Rimmer, I don't think, could have seen, or at least he didn't judge particularly well. Capello. Rocca. Played for Calzio. Now for Rocca, a brilliant break here by the fullback, now for Italy. Across the goal there. Pulici, oh, and it was saved there by Dave Clement for England right at the last. England caught wide open there. A tremendous break by this number 3 Rocca. He has tremendous energy, seems to be everywhere. Phil Thompson was in a fix. Pulici was coming up fast, and in the end, Dave Clement put it behind. Tars. It's already played a minute of injury time. Clement now. Push forward again. Threw this off. Referee checking with both his linesmen that the 45 minutes are up. And so Italy going at half-time, leading by 2-0. Both scored by Graziani, the number 9.
Well, Italy somewhat cruising in the first half, but there's an astonishing turnaround in the second half as temperatures start to soar. Join us after the break.
Now the cross coming sailing into that England 6-yard area. Mills couldn't get to it, but Corrigan. Oh, Corrigan blocked it! No, disallowed! Disallowed!
Right, we're looking back on some classic matches between the two. Right now we're going back to May 1976. Italy with a healthy advantage in the Yankee Stadium at half-time, but now one of the great England comebacks.
So Joe Corrigan takes Jimmy Rimmer's place, and in the defence number 14, Mick Mills of Ipswich comes on for Phil Neal, who had a knock early on. England then 2 goals down, attacking the goal to our left. Here's Dave Clement. Shannon.
Midfield.
Towers. And a free kick. The Italians have made no substitutions at all. Here's Trevor Brooking. That free kick certainly was taken quickly. Royal. Now Royal with a chance. Oh, it's there by Shannon. England have got back into the game inside 30 seconds at the start of the second half. Nick Shannon, skippering England for the first time, is the man who scored it. Brooking with that quickly taken free kick, a delightfully floated centre. Royal here had a chance. Zoff performed miracles there in goal, but it came out to Shannon, and Shannon finished it off. England 1, Italy 2. Mick Mills, the other England substitute. Oh, that's a marvellous start to this second half for England. Now it's Italy again through Calzio. Brooking plays such a big part in that goal, and England now coming hard at the Italians. Here's Gordon Hill in a bit of space. Brooking making a great run down the left again. Still with Hill as he chips it in, but straight through to Zoff.
Shot by Gordon Hill.
Now Pulici.
Throw in.
And Thompson back to Joe Corrigan in the England goal, also making his first England appearance. Brooking. Hill. I'm going to make them remember my name, Gordon Hill was telling me earlier today, and he's shown a bit of style there as Towers that time pulls Zoff into action, and a corner given. 1 or 2 nice jinking runs there by Gordon Hill. He's never lacked an atom of confidence, and he had plenty of it talking to him in the hotel earlier today. About to take this corner on the far side for England. Said they may fear Kevin Keegan, but I'm going to make them remember my name as well. Thompson there, we had a goal! Thompson!
Did you get a touch, Joe?
I think I got a touch.
Come on.
I think he got a touch.
Come on, hold on a minute.
Because he ran up to me afterwards, he's saying, I got it.
Yeah.
Just a
Royals
touch,
goal.
just a touch.
Enough, Joe, for you to claim it.
Just enough.
Dino must have seen
See,
Big
look,
Joe
the
bearing
arms-
down on him. Joe just thought, Tomo's not scored before. I'll just let this one trickle in.
A rare goal, a rare sortie into an opponent's box, to be fair.
Yes, you were saying just before, Richie, what the hell am I doing going up there?
Towers in and winning it
But
well.
yeah, it was nice because it was my one and only goal for England. Very, very pleasing and so important as well. So again, we weathered the storm and we started to make a comeback.
Because we had a good night that night, didn't we? It was very important.
So 2-2.
Earl is away on the far side there. Gordon Hill's coming to the middle. Shannon's there too. And a goal! Shannon! 3 goals in 8 minutes, and England go into a 3-2 lead. The second goal for Shannon. There's the long cross coming in.
And now it's 3-2. Mick Shannon.
By him.
That was a good finish, Joe, wasn't it?
Yes, he did well. He kept it down. I always liked playing with Mickey. I always really enjoyed playing with Mickey. He was very quick and he looked to get behind people. And he was a good foil, really. But I think he pulled me out of it. I hadn't realised what a bad miss the first one was
About to
by
say, he got you out
myself.
of jail with his first goal.
He did. It was a good turn, but it was a poor finish. And Mick certainly pulled me out of it there.
Quite a comeback. What exactly was said at half-time?
I think there was only one man spoke. I remember the coach at the time, Billy Taylor, the Manchester City coach, the late sadly missed Billy Taylor, and he was saying afterwards, God, he's never heard him like that before, because Don Reby was really, really upset at half-time. I mean, we were 2 down, and as we've seen, it could have been more than that. And we've ended up really winning the game 3-2 and could have gone on to win by more.
Occasionally we can hear some interesting commentary from the host broadcaster, I think, in the stadium. Shot from Gordon Hill. Did they not also have some trouble getting the majorettes off at half-time? Do you remember that?
I know, getting the players off. Once the majorettes had come on, you couldn't get the players off.
The majorettes were quicker than us, Joe, though, weren't they?
I've got a photo of it somewhere.
Playing it wide. Capella's coming in hard. The linesman flagging a free kick given. Oh, ridiculous. Well, that is ridiculous. Antonioni has butted Tony Towers, and Tony Towers is being given the yellow card. Well, that absolutely astonishes me. Whether he did something to the Italian number 10 before that incident, but the Italian number 10 came across and butted him into touch. Now, he's getting the... Now he's put his red card out. Now it's a yellow card for Antonioni as well. Antonioni with the shot. Oh, and it just went past the post. From Graziani. Well, that was an untidy bit of play. Antonioni with the pass come shot and flicked just wide of that England post. New York Yankees organ was beginning to drum up a little more emotion still. But it's now Italy with Maldira, being roared on by the huge Italian crowd here now, looking for that equaliser. But it's Clement for England on the far side. Towers. Wilkins. Great space again on that far side for Shannon, showing all the acceleration in the world. Look at this for a run by Shannon. Oh, and he hit the post. Well, he left them for dead there with a tremendous burst of pace by the England skipper, Mike Shannon. Scott Maldira beaten all the way. Soft comes out, pass off against the post. McKetty. Tony Towers getting his head to it. A throw now to Italy. Sala with it. Antonioni. Still Antonioni. McKetty right up there amongst the attackers now. And a free kick to Italy, and this could be a very dangerous position indeed for England. 2.5 minutes to go. Antonioni now with a kick. Just past the post. frightened the life out of every England supporter here in the Yankee Stadium when they come past the wall.
Shot taken.
And then tremendous relief as,
Antonioni.
and in fact just goes wide of the post. And the Italians have got 2, 4, 5 men right up there. Antonioni now. The last seconds of the game. England leading by 3 goals to 2. Chip on the far side. And Shannon back there to knock it towards touch for England. Doyle, the hefty kick upfield. They've really given everything here tonight, particularly in this second half, England. Here's Paquetti, though, for Italy. It's not over yet. Another cross coming sailing into that England 6-yard area. Mills couldn't get to it, but Corrigan. Oh, Corrigan's lost it! No, disallowed! Disallowed!
Right, well, it all starts around about now, doesn't it? They didn't like losing, did they? And
I think the big point of this stage was they'd lost their nerve second half. We'd got at them. We scored the goal at the opportune time, straight after half-time, but we'd really got at them. And the game ended up very physically, as I remember. There was even trouble as we were coming off the pitch. You've got to remember, this was like a home game for Italy with 39,000 Italians in the New York Stadium there. They closed all the restaurants for the afternoon, and quite seriously, it was a home game for them. So things were getting quite irritated this time.
I think Shannon looks as though he's enjoying the atmosphere there. Phil, who were you looking around to try and help you out?
That's a big job, but he had his socks down. I thought, so he's not going to catch anybody anyway if I get in trouble.
It was very, very hot, quite seriously. It was hot. We were all totally exhausted after the game. But I remember that Don Revie was delighted. And I was told after this game by Billy Taylor, the coach, that, you know, Don Revie had been...
Look at this.
I mean, you can't believe it.
They're swinging punches, aren't they?
Oh.
Well, it was like that. It was a real standoff right at the end of the game. They were just literally... It was toe-to-toe, and they were wanting us to fight, start scrapping. It really got out of hand, because there's a lot of prestige involved, especially there's that many Italians in New York, and it was a big, big game for them, and psychologically, it was tremendous for us at that time.
Well, you can't take your eyes off it, can you? It's not the ball that you should be looking at, it's what's going on around it, isn't it?
Well, Don Revie there and everything, he's standing up. Everybody, see our bench there, everybody's aware of what's
Joe Royle
going on.
being accused of stamping there, would that be right, Joe?
I was just scared I was going to sit on him, Richard.
Trevor Brooking gets caught late.
That was a blatant, cold-blooded tackle there by the Italian number 5 on Trevor Brooking. And the sooner the referee blows this whistle and brings this to an end now, the better. Mills for England. Hit long and safe down the touchline. Royle is after it, covered by Bellucci. But Royle gets it, Hill keeps it in play. Still in play. Deep cross onto the far side. And now apparently the linesman on the far side says it's out of play. So it'll be a goal kick. We've played nearly 3 minutes of injury time. Surely there can't be much more. Referee looking at his watch again. England are almost there. For what really would be a great psychological victory with these World Cup qualifying games coming up. There's Gordon Hill making a break from deep and Rocker going with him. And now the Italians coming away again. Again the referee looking at his watch. Again he's looking at his watch. The last seconds of a very, very exciting game here at Yankee Stadium, and England have won it. 3-2 after being 2 goals down. Graziani scoring 2 in the first half. England coming back brilliantly. 2 by Shannon, 1 by Phil Thompson to score a truly remarkable victory.
Great win. Played in a interesting spirit, wasn't it?
Hostile, as I say, it was a home game for them really, and a 2-0